Hello, everyone, and welcome to Team Fortress TV. Tonight we have RGL Division 1, Season 4, Week 5A, HR Team versus Football Team. My name is Caleb, and casting with me tonight is Trad.
Hello, hello.
And on camera we have the famous Looster 200. So we have a good match tonight, at least hopefully. Both of these teams are trying to make it into playoffs. This match is going to be pretty important for both of them. They're both just outside of the top four right now. What do you know about these two teams, Trad?
Well, I know that they're both outside of the top four and they're trying to get into that top four, as you said. So, this match will have, it won't be inconsequential. We'll know that for sure. Yeah, previous match, we know that football team won 5-3, so they have gone head to head. And the 5-3 scoreline suggests that the match last time was pretty close as well. So hopefully we'll see a bit of a repeat tonight.
Yeah,
Do you want to take me down the rosters for both teams?
absolutely. So on HR team, we have Mopsy and Magma on Scout, Nimby and Pelt on Soldier, Cray on Demoman, and Mr. Slyn on Medic. And on football team, we have Shining Star and Marquise on Scout, Alexandros and Deceive on Soldier, Space Ghost Coffee on Demoman, and Inconspicuous Peppermint on Medic.
Yeah, so those are the two teams for tonight. We got a few head-to-heads to look at. One thing to note for both teams will be their demo men, Space Ghost Coffee on the side of football team and Cray on the side of HR team. Know that Cray's been doing really well so far. He's currently ranked 4th in kills for Div 1. And yeah, he's just doing really well for his team right now.
Yeah, crazy beast. Space Ghost Coffee, I heard some people say needs to pick it up this season. I have not seen any of his play this season, so I can't really comment on that. But how do you think that's going to affect things tonight?
Well, with football team winning, I think the last matchup 5-3, I had to think that Space Ghost Coffee had to have played at least decently well in that matchup. You can't have a demo man that isn't contributing, so I would expect him to bring the same performance tonight. I'm sure that he will do it, and yeah, that's my expectations for him currently.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. I'm excited to see the performance of Marquise, my old teammate from season 21 or 22, back in it again playing scout for football team. I don't know if he's been playing for them all season or if he's a recent pickup, but regardless, very excited to see him. His DM has always been crazy. He's a bit of a wild card player, so we'll see how that shapes up. His matchup is Magma. Looking at their stats right now, they have an even stat for air shots per map, so that's very useful to note. um, you can see Magma has many more captures than Marquise, and I think that's a very trademark stat for Marquise. He's not much of a capping guy. He likes to go forward. He likes to go crazy.
Yeah, we'll see if he can go crazy in this match against football team. I think there's one other matchup that we haven't gotten to, the medics. On HR team, we've got Mr. Slyn, and on his counterpart, Inconspicuous Peppermint. What a mouthful. Mr. Slyn, I don't think he needs an introduction. He's pretty well known. And coming back, playing as medic for Div for HR team, he's been doing pretty well. I think overall.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I've casted a couple of HRT matches now, and Slyn plays pretty much like exactly as he always has, really. Which, I mean, his mechanics have always been good. Um, his game sense is good. Some of the decisions he makes, sometimes it feels like he's not completely on board with the rest of his team. Gets a little bit out of sync. Gets kind of his own idea in the head of what's going on. So if he can manage to kind of stay on the same page with the rest of his team. Their HRT is a really, really strong contender for playoffs. I think when they're playing together and they're playing together well, I can very easily see them going far.
Yeah, we can definitely see in the stats that Slin, he's ranked second in deaths, really keeping himself alive, which will be invaluable in this upcoming matchup. You can see that, yeah, Peppermint is not that far behind as well with the amount of deaths that he has, but
On this stats page, there's a bar for critzes and it's empty. Does that mean neither of them have used crits all season? Interesting.
neither. It's gonna
No
be a
crits
full
ever.
over game, I'm guessing. Well, we're gonna
Well, we're
get right
going live.
into it. Yeah, both teams readied up.
So who are you going to be watching on this first mid, Trad?
Well, of course I'm gonna be watching the demos. We talked about them. Cray versus Space Ghost Coffee, so we'll see how they match up here. And it's gonna be Cray, who is much faster to the mid, already shooting stickies across, getting some really good early damage onto Space Ghost Coffee. The rest of the teams all just trickling in, some early damage being traded across. It seems like HRTeam is looking worse for where oh sorry, not HRTeam, Football. As they lose 3 players, they've kind of traded sides here, and some frags are being traded, but it's only the scouts alive remaining for Football Team. Shining Star trying to do his best, and it's all up to Marquise, your boy. He gets 1 kill.
He gets it. He clutches it.
And that's on Mr. Slin, so...
Slin down.
Slin down.
Overall, I mean, from the beginning of that mid, it looked like HRT, they got the height positioning really early. They bunched up a little bit, and that made me worried for them. But then they just kind of collapsed. Really good by Marquise at the end to take out Mr. Slin. And now the soldiers from Football Team are jumping back onto second. A bunch of frags going their way. Mopsy, Pelt, and Cray down. So that's going to indicate a push coming in real soon from Football Team back into mid. HRT has very passive positioning right now, just ready to back up whenever they need to.
I like how aggressive Deceive was right there. The rest of HR Team wasn't properly set up. There's only like 3 players capping it up. The other players were still respawning or coming back. So Deceive took the initiative, just bombed in. No scouts to deny him, or the scout was out of position and got a quick 2K. So now Football Team are going to try and take this advantage. They're grouping up around the choke point. There's the soldier bombing in, trying to make space for his team. That was Alexandros. He's going to make it all the way back to the sewer and stay alive. The circus tour, but yeah, just scouting out the positioning on the side of HR Team. Seems like nobody on HR Team is really eager to try their own luck at taking a bomb forward.
No, I don't really. Well, actually, Pelt just goes in right there, and Magma follows up on the damage, so trading with Alexandros. But yeah, I think HRT just needed that time to stabilize a little bit after they bled so many frags in a row. Dish Soak goes down to Mopsy. I didn't see exactly where that was. Gloomer is in sewer, trying to get out right now. Sticky's being fired across the choke between Space Ghost Coffee and Cray. A nice pipe hit onto Mopsy by Space Ghost Coffee. I don't think it's going to indicate anything more, though. Teams are resetting to the kind of positioning they were at about 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, both teams, there were some frags being traded on both sides, but everybody's kind of just stabilized, everybody's respawned, and seems like the earlier aggression by Alexandros, the Inquisitive Bomb, he's not doing it anymore. Seems like HR Team, who's that? I think it's Pelt in sewer, just firing a few Inquisitive rockets, trying to
Marquise is on Sniper.
Marquise on Sniper. Frags being traded, so see what Marquise can do. There's no sightline on Slin right now. Playing pretty passive. Oh, nice shot by Marquise. Getting 2 body shots, taking out Magma as well, and he's got a sightline just barely on Mr. Slin. He takes a shot, but he doesn't connect, and Mr. Slin escapes out of there. However, Football Team do have a pick advantage, and it's gone. Shining Star goes down. So everything's just gonna go back to how it was.
Yeah, really unfortunate. That was a good pick for Marquise there. Okay, here comes Nimby coming in, trying to get onto the
just
Sniper.
Trying to get right onto Marquise.
But it's not. Okay, Mopsy finally takes him down with a chip shot. So, a successful bomb, I suppose. But now HRT is primed to go in a little bit more without the threat of that Sniper.
HRT's turn, yeah, there was Pelt going in. Deceive was waiting for an arrow. It came a little bit too late, so HRT have a pick advantage. Let's see what they do with it. They're sending a scout forward. They're coming into the choke area right now. One of them's going to be caught in. That's Mopsy. But the Uber is popped out of football team. That was Peppermint not wanting to drop anybody, and they didn't put enough pressure onto Mr. Slin, so HR team now with the Uber advantage. Let's see what they do with it.
Yeah, they're coming out of IT now. Here comes the Uber. Good for Mr. Slin to keep himself alive for so long, not take any damage, not get that Uber force. Unfortunately, this Uber hasn't really done too much except get the mid, which is okay. They're still at like a 30% disad, which isn't the worst situation in the world. However, I do think they probably could have gotten mid without that Uber if they really put their minds to it, Trad.
Yeah, it seems like they were just coming in through IT there, and there wasn't a lot of spam pressure from the side of football team, so they probably could have milked it a little bit more, gotten more space without having to use the Uber, but all is well. We might see a bit of a leapfrog situation here as football team now have the Uber. It seems like they're about to pop in. There we go, pop. Demo bombing in, laying stickies down, gets some good damage onto Slin. He's gonna have to back up all the way, but they actually lose their first player in Deceive. There's just a soldier wrecking havoc. Nimby, how is he still alive? Just waddles forward on the midpoint and gets a frag. And now the rest of football team have to hightail it. Oh, really clutch arrow onto Alexandros there by Peppermint, saving him from cratering. So they're salvaging their losses. That was not a good Uber, and HR team now streaming forward, looking to cap this second point.
Ooh, Mr. Slim gets forced from a nice bomb from Alexandros. Unfortunate that happened. HRT is the kind of team that likes to play very closely together. They kind of have that blob strategy a lot of the time. So I'm kind of surprised that Alexandros was able to get that bomb. Slin was just kind of caught out by himself. I don't know if that was a mistake by him or the rest of his team, but now football team's going to have a pretty hefty advantage, sitting in around 60% or so. And
yeah, let's see if they use it a little bit better this time. They're coming out through one. Uber not popped out yet. Just stickies being cleared. And they're still not popping. There we go. There's the Uber. There's a scout leading it. That was Shining Star. So they're going to use the Uber to take a lot of space. Alex, that's Deceive in Sewer, just fighting with the rest of HR team. So they use the Uber. They do get the second point, but they lose a player in the process. And now it's prime positioning for HR team to stream forward. They're just they're siphoning off the players of football team. Just, but it doesn't even matter. Space Ghost getting one pick. Shining Star doing his best as well. It's now going to be a solo Uber. Are they going to pick up the demo? They do pick up the demo, so it's such a scrappy fight here. I really don't know who's winning.
This is such a scrappy fight. And who is the scout just running in plus forwarding from one? And
he's
still not dead. It's Marquise. Of course it is. Second gets capped out by HRT as Marquise goes down. They have the spawner from Cray coming in 3 seconds. HRT, are they going to push this forward? It looks like they want to. Or Slin wants to, going in first, leading the charge. But now is backing out a little bit as it looks like the push from HRT is now being put on hold as the Uber coming out from football team.
No.
It's a solo Uber onto Shining Star. He's trying to bash as hard as he can. It's not working very well. Mopsy finally goes down, but Deceive in the trade. Alexandros jumps the choke, trying to get all the players out of it. And that's Nimby in IT. He's got to be forced out too. Trades with Shining Star. And now the Uber is back in from HRT. Slin was able to get his charge back. And now Peppermint is down. This is a very bad situation for football team to be in, as HRT is going to cap second and probably push this right into last.
Yeah, there's no gun. There we go. Marquise now just building up the sentry gun, but it's going to be pretty late. They're probably going to want a heavy as well. Peppermint just spawning up, so the Uber advantage is going to be around 30% for Mr. Slin. And right now they're just going to sit back on the second point and wait until they can build up their Uber advantage. It's going to allow football team to build up the sentry gun, but the HR team should have around a 10 to 20 second window to use this Uber, and they're coming up with it now. There we go. The soldier bombing in straight away, not the demo, and they're taking a little bit of time to kill the sentry gun. They do manage to get Space Ghost though. That is a very critical pick. Getting the demo down is a good good pick, but they do lose Pelt in the process. And now, with how much time they took, the Uber is now popped out on the side of football team. They managed to build it up, and now it's a complete disaster. It's only going to be Mr. Slin remaining. He's hightailing out of here. He should be able to live. There is a scout chasing him, but his trusty soldier friend Pelt comes to save him, so...
Yeah, kind of
Not
an
a good Uber.
unfortunate push there from HRT. I mean, as soon as Cray jumped in, he got blasted up by the sentry. Football team's moving into mid now. They pick up Nimby, and HRT kind of just, their positioning is not looking great. Cray has been damaged so much. And while Mopsy is still running around, football team has taken control of this mid pretty easily. I think HRT needs to settle down a little bit and just regroup themselves after that failed push. I was thinking that when Peppermint died on second, as HRT is looking to aggress choke a little bit more.
Wow, this is very aggressive by
Wow,
HRT.
okay, they're coming out right from IT, and they take out Space Ghost Copy immediately.
Oh!
Peppermint goes down, Deceive down. Wow, this is already a big push. Shining Star is dead, only 2 left from football team, and they're all the way out, so a very commanding retake of mid from HRT.
That must have been some really superb Uber counting by Mr. Slin. He knew he only had like a 10-20% advantage, so they played so aggressively using that really small advantage to catch football team off guard. Peppermint was not in a good position, couldn't escape as the Uber was popped, and you saw that he went down with 96%, so now it's going to be HRTeam, 2 players down for the side of football team as HRTeam moves forward onto the last point. Peppermint is so low, has to back up to respawn, so he's not going to be healing the heavy. Marquise goes down. That's a big health sink already down for the side of HRTeam, which is looking good for them as they manage to wipe everybody except for Peppermint. And there we go, HRTeam taking the first round 1-0. Very nice, aggressive, and methodical play.
Really good from HRT. They did on that last push what I wish they would have done on the one before, which is they didn't, when they killed Peppermint and they had a big ad, even though they didn't have Uber, they were willing to push off Uber. Just being confident in the fact that their heals would get them through. Coming into this bit, I'm looking at Space Bill's Coffee, firing some sticks. His health, he's being healed all the way, so is Cray. Not a huge amount of aggression coming in so far. HRT is aggressing to the left, trying to get onto Peppermint. He does go down as well as Alexandros. Nimby in return from Dish Soap, or Marquise, sorry. And Magma goes down as well to the Scattergun of Marquise, so now things are turning around a little bit for football team, but they have to kill Mr. Slin here in order to make this mid worth it.
And the soldier.
Marquise gets
the
another
last
frag.
duo. How is Mr. Slin alive? He gets the
Uber
in time.
Wow.
I don't think he's gonna be able to escape. Yeah, Uber's gonna run out. There's the sticky. Oh, it doesn't catch him in though.
Oh wow.
How does he get out?
Mr. Slin, the medic legend.
Wait, I don't get it. I think they had a scout there. I'm not sure why the scout didn't chase. Maybe he was a little late.
I think that scout was Marquise, and I think that he thought that Slin's Uber was going to last longer than it did. I think he thought it was going to last until he was out of choke, if I had to guess. That's how he was acting to me. You can see Deceive peeking the choke a little bit, trying to put some spam, but both teams pretty passive at the moment. Space Plus Coffee maneuvering towards the choke with the combo. Alexandros going for a bomb in. He wants to get onto Mr. Slin.
Oh,
gets one really good rocket. He hits it.
Mr. Slin.
Crazy shot from Alexandros. Drops Mr. Slin, I think. Was that a drop? 87.
Yeah, I don't think that was a drop, but that was still very impressive, and it's given football team a really good advantage. Space Ghost Coffee gets bombed and choke. Peppermint stays alive, so it's going to be a 1v1 Shining Star. Do not lose this. You got your medic. There you go. Clean up Mopsy. And it's going to be Shining Star and Peppermint capping up the second point. What a play by Alexandros, though. He is the hero. That was a crazy... It wasn't an air shot. It hit the wall, but it was still pretty crazy flick of a rocket.
That is a great clip for any frag movie, I think. So off the back of that play from Alexandros, football team is going to be put in a great position to be trying to push last. They have about a 70% Uber advantage. Mopsy is on sniper, so they have to be careful of that. And there's a level 3 sentry set up on this right side by Magma. And as the Uber is coming in from 3, they take out the sentry very quick. Slin is rotating up top. They can get on the point right now. They have time spore on it. HRT's going to have to come in and try to contest. Shining Star goes down, and Peppermint as well, so no heals. But Slin returned from Alexandros, getting him again. All these players all across the point. HRT think they're going to get this defense despite 2 players below 10 health, and they do manage to hold off the push. Really, really close there.
Yeah, that was some good kiting by HRTeam. They all just went back into the spawn and then rotated around to their left side, waiting out a good part of the Uber there. I would have liked to see football team probably get onto the point a little bit earlier. They could have capitalized when the majority of HRTeam were still stuck in spawn. But they'll have another chance here. They still have an Uber advantage. I'm not sure
Peppermint
whether...
goes down.
Oh no.
Pelt just
they still
picks
have
him
a
up
lot
right
of
there.
cap time though, and it's gonna be a... There's only 2 people alive. It's Nimby. Now it's only up to Slin, but he's gonna go down. And there we go.
Wow. A little scrappy, a little uncoordinated, but a round nonetheless. Good on football team. I mean, once they get their momentum going, they're really, really good. HRT seems to be playing more methodically, and in these slower situations seems to be getting the better of them, as Alexandros is jumping all around the map, doing whatever he can. Scout's getting some early height presence as Alexandros gets the first frag onto Mopsy.
Is such a beast.
And
He's
that's gonna be
so much damage.
enough to force HRT out of this mid. Actually, Deceive picked up Pelt and Mr. Slin. Peppermint does go down to Nimby, so saving this mid for his team, but it's going to be a mid over to football team, even if just barely.
It's a demo 1v1 on the second point right here. Space Ghost Coffee trying to get Cray. Cray trying to stay alive as long as possible. Oh, he's juking out the scout. He's gonna stay alive on 63 HP and make it out back to his team. That really was the worst MG fight I've seen in a while, so forget we even saw that. Let's just focus back on football team being back on middle point right here. And both medics died, so they both have around the same Uber advantage. There's Pelt going in, trying to make something happen, but he just gets shot down by the AA guns of football team. So let's see, football team with a 1-pick advantage. Let's see what they do with this.
I'm going to be looking all at Alexandros in this next push, the quarterback of the football team. I think just putting in so much work. So it doesn't look like the push is going to be coming in quite yet. Both teams coming up on their Uber very, very soon, but both holding relatively passively, just healing up all the players. Peppermint is, and here comes Alexandros for the bomb once again. Can he recreate it? No, he can't. Pelt wipes him up very, very easily. So now there's a 1-pick advantage in favor of HRT. It looks like they want to push off of this a little bit.
And he gets stuck.
Magma coming through IT for a big flank once again. The Peppermint does get the force, takes him down to 8 health. Magma and Nimby go down, but that force is going to be pretty big for HRT if they can keep the rest of their players alive. This is a lot of ground to cover for football team, and they're not going to try to push it very hard. Now they're getting onto second a little bit more. They actually forced Mr. Slin into a pretty bad Uber. Space Ghost Coffee is dead, so no demo, and Dissoap as well. So this actually could turn out okay for HRT. They need to keep the pressure up here. Pedal to the metal. Mopsy and Cray jumping up top. Deceive is dead. Football team's going to be backing out of mid. A lot of big bombs coming in. Alexandros is dead. And I think we're going to stabilize there with HRT recapping mid. Really, really good recap from them from a situation where they did not have a good Uber.
Yeah, I think their Uber just bought them just enough positioning. They did get 1 pick with it, and then they the rest of their spawners then came forward, so then they could fight basically 6v5, 6v4, and just take the fights in their favor. But it seems like it's kind of all turned around, since now it is football team with the pick advantage, and now they're just streaming forward. Space Ghost just lobbing the stock grenade pipes, moving forward. I imagine he's going to try and bomb him, but Uber popped out on the side of HRTeam. There's Cray trying to carpet bomb, get a lot of damage. Oh, Space Ghost Coffee, he was trapping off the choke before he gets taken down, and Peppermint goes down by some good rockets by Nimby. Mr. Slin went down as well, so such a scrappy fight. It's going to be a 2v2, 1v1 Magma just owning Marquise on the middle point. So, and then there's another one, Deceive on the backlines, trying to just cause havoc. I don't even know what's happening.
A lot of scrappy fighting as Kray's coming out of sewer and trying to get some damage onto Alexandros. I was gonna say, oh, here's a 1v1 from Deceive and Kray. Deceive hits the, and then Nimby hits the air shot onto Deceive. Big plays. HRT is going to be coming right back into mid off the back of that great shot. Shining Star is dead from the scattergun of Magma. HRT is surging forward. They want to take this mid back decisively. Mopsy goes down. That's not going to help them. And football team is going to have the confidence to try and re-aggress here. Alexandros jumping up top. Nimby jumping with him. And there's Deceive also just putting the pressure on the choke, forcing HRT back out. Football team is going to hold mid.
Big plays. We saw some good air shots by soldiers on both sides. All the players spawn back up. Alexandros in again. What a great air shot. It's not going to matter. Kray stays alive. But that looked cool, and looking cool is what matters. So it's going to be Nimby's turn, and he just kind of just fizzles out there. Unable to get much done. And Deceive almost goes down. There's a fight there. Pelt moving forward in IT and spamming rockets, but he's going to back up now.
Yep, these teams feel very evenly matched to me. I mean, the score is 1-1 right now, but they definitely have very different play styles. Football team is at their best when they're playing very fast.
Sniper.
Ooh, Alexandros on Sniper. Where is he peeking from? Looks like he is walking up to the choke, trying to get a hard scope shot. I'm going to switch over to his perspective. Look down at his scope. He's rotating into sewer now. Over by the pack. Not peeking anything as of yet, just waiting for his teammate to open the door. Takes one shot, I think, but misses, and now he's rotating back over to the choke. Wants to get something. Pelt goes down to a rocket from Deceive, and now he's being aggressed by a scout, an Ubered scout now, so Alexandros should die. Mopsy bashes him to death, and that's going to be the end of the Alexandros sniper. But Peppermint still has full Uber, and now it's going to be popped off. So this could be a really, really good Uber for a football team as Kray goes down. Where is the rest of HRT? Nimby's trying to get out through lobby, but I don't think he's going to. Yeah, he goes down to a rocket from Deceive. So football team is going to be capping second here and is going to be looking pretty good if they want to push last.
That was an exceedingly strange Uber by HRTeam. They solo Uber just to get the sniper. And they did get the sniper, but was that
at what cost?
Yeah, I don't think so, because they might be giving up this round. There's a lot of cap time, a lot of players on HRTeam going down. Football team managing to take it, so
2-1 to
they're
football
up 2-1.
team. Very, very interesting. Just really scrappy fights going all around. The DM for these teams seems to be pretty even at the moment. Like whenever we get into these team fights, it's really a coin flip to see who wins. I'm watching Kray right now. He gets to mid pretty fast. And look at this big fast bomb from Alexandros. He lands on top of the crates. Nimby takes a lot of damage. Takes a direct from Alexandros, killing him. Shining Star also goes down to the pipe from Kray. Teams rotating onto each other's sides. Some point presence from HRT. This is looking good from them. Kray going huge, killing Space Coast Coffee, and Alexandros goes down from Pelt as well. So a pretty decisive mid there from HRT.
Yeah, Kray is popping off. Those stickies were just locking football team from doing anything in the mid, and then he had some really nice pipes to follow it up. So HRTeam off the back of that, streaming forward, gonna cap up the second point. There's one player on football right back, Deceive. Just another bit of a 1v1 MGE fight. He's gonna be in the sewer area, but if HRTeam take this advantage right now, they will have a 6v5, and they're using the Uber straight away forward. Yeah, they're doing this right now. It's a solo Uber on a soldier. The soldier trying to get onto Space Ghost. Nice synergy by the two soldiers of HRTeam, taking down the demo straight away. Deceive finally coming back, but it's too late. HRTeam. Again, just like that very first round, the aggressive play. I love it.
That was beautiful.
Their second round.
That was a beautiful round from HRT. They took their momentum straight from middle all the way to last, and the fact that Deceive was behind, they didn't care, they didn't stop, they went right back in, they took that 6v5. As you said, as we go into this next middle, take it away.
Yeah, we see Kray. Let's see if he can do the same things that he was doing before. Hasn't been able to land much with his stickies. Does get a little bit of chip damage, but he's walking forward. Gets a good pipe onto the demo. Space Ghost is a bit low, and it seems like Peppermint is going to be a little bit caught out, but frags being traded. It's looking to favor football team currently as they're one man up. They're on the middle point, and Slin is just dancing and dodging, trying to dodge all the pipes. Unfortunately, he gets scattergunned straight down, And now it's going to be up to the last remaining person,
Wow.
Mopsy, trying to get onto Peppermint, but that's not going to be the case.
Marquise with the 5K, and he taunts on the point as well, just really showing dominance on that mid. And so now football team in another very advantageous position. We've just been trading these rounds back and forth. All of football team wants to go through one. They want to get right in, and the sentry's going to go down. The loose cannon takes out Shining Star, but the rest of the push from football team is still going in. No point presence as of yet. Pelt does die, so that's going to help them, but Peppermint dies as well, and that's not going to do good things for their push. Space Ghost Coffee is dead from Scattering Gun of Magma, only 3 up left for football team, and it's just Marquise with 26 health.
Alexandros is just hiding. He's going to try and take a 1v1 with Cray here, but he is so low, he's eating some rocket ship damage. He's just going to have to try and escape here. On 16 HP. His days are going to be numbered, and there we go. He goes down. HRTeam survive despite the full Uber advantage on the side of football team, and they retake their second point as well. And now they're in the driving seat. They have around a 40% advantage, 30%. You can see how passive football team is playing. I think they might have misjudged the Uber advantage.
Yeah.
Because they are playing so passive when HRTeam doesn't even have the Uber. So HRTeam actually just going to get mid for free. And they can still steamroll it here. They do have the advantage, and I expect them, with how they've been playing, to continue to go forward. Shining Star gets one pick before the Uber is popped out. But HRTeam, it seems like they're going to be able to cap 2 points for the price of 1 here. And actually, maybe not. It's going to be football team now streaming back forward. They have the Uber now, and seeing HRTeam is just respecting that by backing up all the way, not wanting to get caught out by the Uber. And it's just like a reversal of roles there. This time, football team didn't even have to pop their Uber, but they managed to keep HRTeam off their second.
Yeah, football team, they backed up really far before HRT's pushed into second. HRT was like basically on their last. But now Nimby is flying in, wants to get onto Peppermint, gets the drop! Wow, really great stuff from Nimby. He does go down, and football team is going to cap this mid, but with no demo and no medic, they're going to be backing out very soon as HRT is re-aggressing, Magma is running in, and Alexandros is going to jump, try to get onto Mr. Slin, but it's not going to work. Magma's going to shoot him down. Mr. Slin at full health, full Uber, feeling very confident. Shining Star wants to run back in and get something, but gets cleaned up. There's a back cap from Marquise on second, but that's not going to be enough because they stack mid. So 10 health Marquise is going to have to find something to do, as HRT wants to keep moving forward. They don't care about that player behind, they care about the point. And now Magma's already on second, and look how far HRT is. They've popped their Uber onto last, as second is just capping up now. The sentry goes down before it could even really come of age, and now there's some point presence. Mopsy dies with Space Ghost Coffee, and all the fighting on the point. The frags seem to be going in the way of football team. Actually, the focus buy from HRT just not really coming through, and now only Mr. Slin alive. It looks like he is going to get out through choke, but man, I really liked that play from HRT, but just couldn't convert on the last push.
Yeah. I love the choice of words too, the sentry couldn't come of age.
I was thinking of Marxists used to call like level sentry guns like adolescent and mature based on their level, and so I was thinking about that.
Learning from the best. There we go.
Yeah, so anyway, now football team holds second. HRT has mid. Cray peeking choke a little bit, but he's gonna back out. Nimby wants to aggress a little bit in IT, just peeking, seeing what he can get. Marquise firing those pistol clips. And Mopsy is the first to go down, actually, to the pistol of Marquise, so it's putting in work. As the Uber from HRT comes in through choke, Peppermint has not popped yet. Now comes the return pop. It's a much better Uber for football team as Nimby goes down to Marquise, and the scouts just running through. Oh,
Marquise!
He gets destroyed by Cray.
You can see he was just coming in from IT, like looking to flank and cut the retreating HRTeam off, and he just get two-piped, completely destroyed, and Cray is still popping off, taking down Shining Star with the stickies. And I think the big factor here is the time. 1 minute remaining. It's all going to be up to HRTeam. football team probably wants to play passive because they definitely can't win a round here, but they definitely can't lose a round. So HRTeam streaming forward. There's still Space Ghost, who is dead right now. Another 5 seconds before he respawns. So it's HRTeam with a prime opportunity to get onto the point here. They're slowly moving in onto the right side of the point. Football team just backing up. They do get the first pick onto Nimby, but the Uber is popped. Space Ghost goes down straight away again. The Heavy is still alive. He's getting Boston Basher down, and it's going to be a 4v4. Such a scrappy fight. Uber popped on the side of football team. They're going to manage to stabilize as they pick up Pelt. So HRTeam will still have one last chance to do this. 20 seconds remaining. They won't have time to wait for the respawners, I don't think. It's going to be a little bit too late, so they have to go with this. They only have a soldier and a scout and a medic, so let's see what these players can do. It's going to be a 6v3. Very tall task, but they do get the first pick onto Alexandros.
Oh my god,
Nimby
Nimby gets destroyed in the air.
And football team is just standing onto the point. It's not going to happen. The Pyro just air blasting him off. And we get a 2-2 at the half.
Wow, that was a really, really exciting half. These teams are pretty close. HRT, I think overall, if I had to place a bet on who was going to win this match, I would probably put it on them because they're just a little bit more methodical, I think. But football team, they're still making a few mistakes. HRT is, and football team has been doing a good job at capitalizing on them and really just getting that surging momentum forward, just that scout-led momentum, and then Alexandros coming in with those really, really nice bombs. Looking at the stats here, do any of these stats scream out to you, Trad?
I'm looking at Fate Yeehaw versus the other team, the bus crew, so I don't think I'm looking at the right stats.
Yeah, we'll get that.
I mean,
fixed on
Yeehaw's doing pretty
stream.
well. He went 35 and 11. What a
Yeehaw's
beast.
crazy. I mean, this is known. Okay, so now I got the real stats up. First thing I noticed, Cray 404 DPM, going 22 and 11, putting out 12,000 damage as compared to Space Ghost Coffee's 6,000.
Yeah, I think we
230
highlighted
DPM.
that at the beginning of the match, the Cray versus Space Ghost Demoman matchup, and we said that Cray was really carrying the HRT team on his back so far this season, and it's really shown here with the damage numbers. Is over 120 damage more per minute than his closest teammate.
Yeah, really, really dominant performance on demo from Cray. Looking at the frags, top frags is Marquise. He's got 30 frags and 13 deaths. He's been doing a lot of work for football team in this half. I've been really, really impressed with him, putting up 277 DPM. Yeah, I think everyone is playing relatively well. Space Ghost Coffee probably needs to pick it up. He's 9-16 right now. He's just kind of getting destroyed at every opportunity, every turn by Cray.
Yeah, I think also
dominating.
Also, Alexandros, despite having that really nice and really influential impact fragged, he's actually doing the worst statistically on his team. I don't think it really translates though, because whenever we've watched him, he's been having some pretty good impacts. So
Yeah,
maybe the stats don't tell everything here.
stats don't tell the full story. I would like to point out that Marquise is taking the lowest amount of heals on his team. He's only taking 13% heals, and he's been putting out a lot of damage. Now, most of that is probably because he runs forward so much that his medic can't reach him, but it's admirable nonetheless. Yeah, so for predictions for the second half, what do you think is going to happen in the second half, Chad?
This second half, it's pretty interesting. Like at the start, I would say HRT was playing much better. And overall I like their play style, taking like small advantages, going aggressive and pushing forward onto football team. And despite the even scoreline, and at the end, HRTeam were actually in position to get another round. I feel like football team, for the majority of the time, I feel like has been doing better than HRT team. I can't really place a reason why. Um, despite none of their players being as much of a hard carry as Cray for HRT team, I just think that the rest of the players are working together a little bit better than HRT team. And so I would expect them to take this 4-3. I don't think we're going to get to 5, but I would not consider, I wouldn't be surprised if HRT takes it as well.
So your prediction is 4-3 for football team.
Yes.
I don't know what my prediction is. I'm gonna go with 5-4 to HRT. I think this really, really could go either way. No matter what the score line is, it wouldn't be surprising. Even if it was like a 3-2, that wouldn't be surprising. I could see there being like one really long round, just with a ton of back and forth. But when it comes down to the wire, like what we saw near the end of that second half, I think was HRT starting to pick up their game a little bit more, play more collected, play more like an established unit. And I think that, like, as the game has gone on, they've been getting better and better slowly, and they've really turned it on near the end of the half, where the time pressure just like puts them in that aggressive driving seat. They're really good when they play aggressive, and football team is also really good when they're aggressive, but they struggle the most when they're put on the defensive. Their like defenses work typically because they have great DM, and not because of great defensive strategy or positioning. HRT is definitely a more strategic team. I know Mr. Slin's that kind of guy. And so, yeah, I think that will give HRT the slight edge in this second half, but again, it could go either way.
Yeah, definitely. And both teams taking their time during this mid break, but as I say that, they're readied up, ready to go into the second half, and let's see who takes it from here. Our sixth mid of the match. Colors still the same, and let's see how it goes. Space Ghost Coffee launching some stickies across. Nimby pretty fast on the rollout, getting forward, but it seems like both teams playing pretty passive. Nobody bombing forward just yet. As I say that, there is Alexandros moving forward, and football team looking pretty decisive here. They do have a pick advantage and the better positioning there. Cray just cratering, and I missed something, but Cray seems to have piped down Peppermint. Is that what I missed?
Yeah, I think so. So the news has come in. Cray hit a crazy pipe onto Peppermint. So good job to him, just showing his dominance once again in this match. And now, so this is eventually going to be a mid that comes out for HRT. Just again, some really scrappy fighting. It was looking good for football team there for a second as they're trying to push back into mid just a little bit. Marquise firing as many pistols as he can possibly manage. But HRT is going to take the positioning onto this point and not let football team take any space back in.
Yeah, seems like it's a common theme for HRT. Cray popping off and saving his team here, giving them the midpoint and another chance at taking this forward. Seems like Mr. Slim went down as well, so they don't have the Uber advantage. And it's going to be Pelt moving forward with a little bit of a bomb. He stuffs his jump as he's trying to get back out. He might not even survive. He escapes with 38 HP. All and well, running back to get his arrows. So both teams just stabilized here. Doesn't seem like Alexandros is very eager to bomb forward, and Pelp is actually just gonna go on another adventure. Round 2 here. Both soldiers, in fact, just pencil jumping around. And there's Alexandros.
Oh my God.
Nice!
He
Direct rocket
destroyed Cray.
straight onto Cray, and
That was nasty.
Is a huge impact. Yeah, that is a big pick because of how much impact Cray has on the side of HRT team. And there's Deceive just coming up from sewer, gets one good rocket onto Mr. Slin. Mr. Slin has to back up a little bit. He's a little bit low, but he's recovering his health now. Both teams losing a soldier in that process. So I think everything's just gonna go back to normal, I guess.
Man, okay, that was crazy. Oh, okay, here's another soldier jumping in. That's Nimby. He's going to rotate around to IT, not going to risk his life. Is he going to die? Marquise really wants the frag, but he's going to pay for his greed. Magma takes him down. And now HRT wants to go through choke. It looks like here comes one soldier coming in. That's health. He's going to get some damage, but then jump out. Cray's really far forward. But
Dude,
now
Cray
back again through
care.
choke. Cray does not care at all. He does what he wants. And now the rest of HRT slowly moving in. Magma is on to Peppermint. Oh, but Peppermint's dancing around the best he can. Ooh, milks it with 28 health remaining. And now Marquise picked up 2, I think. At least 1. But now football team's going to have the momentum once again. Neither team popped in that little push, I guess you could call it. And now Alexandros is dead and deceived, so no soldiers on the side of football team. That's going to cue HRT's re-push back through the choke. But are they going to be able to make the space? They've been having a really hard time getting through this choke.
Yep, so it's going to be up to HRTeam to capitalize off of this no soldier advantage. It seems like they're going to be sending their soldiers forwards, gets the force out onto inconspicuous Peppermint. Mr. Slim playing really far back and now just pops off the Uber. So they're going to be able to get Space Ghost, which is a really nice pick. Shining Star does escape out of there with 60 HP. And now he's going to go straight onto the Engineer because they realize that this is dire straits. There's already so much cap time on the point. Shining Star going to switch back to the scout role to try and defend. Somehow, all the respawners are back for football team, and they do have a chance here, but nobody's on the point. Look at the point pressure. They just have to walk on there for HRT, but they won't be able to do that if they don't have any players remaining, and that's the case as Mr. Slin is going to have to escape out with Mopsy.
I was just about to credit HRT for what I thought was a really good push. It looked really, really good at the start. They came in, got a ton of point pressure early, didn't give football team the time to set up. But like you said, they just football team collapsed onto the point, and HRT just couldn't get the players onto it. Just kind of had people running all the way around and just died. Some great defensive work there from football team, as now there is a sentry from Marquise. It's a level 2. It's slowly coming of age.
It's adolescent right now.
It's adolescent right now. Soon it will reach adulthood, I believe. But actually, the Uber's going to come in before it can. It will never see the light of day.
They'll never reach puberty as we get into this, the rest of this fight. Somehow football team are still staying alive. They've lost 2 players. They do take down Magma on the side of HRT, but there is Cray just sitting on the point, getting a pipe, getting a sticky. He doesn't care. He's taking control of this match, and HRT are up 3-2.
Wow. You know, maybe if that sentry was old enough, maybe if he could have bought his first beer and gotten that life experience, things could have been different.
I think we're done.
But now we are at 3-2 in favor of HRT coming into this next mid. No aggression as of yet. Actually, now the football team is starting to take the height advantage, but just kind of rotating to each other's side. Peppermint takes a very big rocket and does get taken down by Magma, so that's not good for football team, as now that the frags are going in HRT's favor. Only Cray is dead. They need to get on Mr. Slin right now, but I don't think it's going to happen. Actually, he's at 40 health. Where is he?
He's so low. Alexandros just needs to get like 1 rocket on him.
He's at 140 now. Oh, the rockets are coming in. Mr. Slim's at 18 health, 17, but he does survive. HRT wins the mid. Mr. Slim's going to have full Uber for this next push.
Yeah, and I expect that they're going to use that Uber to the best of their abilities. They're moving forward, already going to be on this second point capture, and because football teams do not have the Uber, they're not even going to try and contest that. Instead, they're playing pretty passively. The level 2 sentry gun staying alive for a little bit, and they just use the whole Uber just to take down the sentry gun. They have the human sentry gun, the heavy, now on the point. And they also have a pick onto Cray, the impact player of HRT team. 3 of the HRT players are just in the back lines of the football team, and it's not going to work out. They're going to lose all their lives, and that Uber did not work.
Yeah, I think football team was ready for that kind of push from HRT this time. They did the same thing they've been doing a couple times in this match, where they just go right in, they just pop straight in without giving football team time to set up. But football team wasn't trying to set up a more turtly defense that time. I think they were ready for the fast push, and it showed they were able to hold off HRT pretty successfully. Magma is onto Peppermint, does kill him, so that's no med for the side of football team. Oh, did he drop? I'm hearing that he dropped. Mr. Slin is now at 96%. Nimby dies to Marquise, but I don't... Are they going to get this mid cap? It looks like they are, but HRT is going to be coming in very, very soon as Magma coming in onto the point. No frags traded so far, but there's Mopsy onto Shining Star. Deceive tries to get onto Slin, but not going to happen. Alexandros tries to. Both soldiers dead. Cray is dead, but so is Marquise, and that's HRT back on mid control.
That is really tough, and I think we're definitely seeing one of those other stats that we talked about before the match. Mr. Slin ranks second in deaths, staying alive, and we can definitely see that has been the difference maker as to why HRT are up 3-2. He's just been staying alive a lot more than Peppermint. Doesn't matter though if you lose 2 players, Pelt and Nimby goes down, and it seems like that will be an opening for football, but actually they're not going to capitalize on it because again they don't have the Uber, so they don't want to be so aggressive and then lose all their players from the Uber. However, that has bought a lot of time. 20% remaining for Peppermint to get the Uber. It's going to be HRT team taking it straight away. There's Nimby trying to move forward. That wasn't Nimby. That wasn't.
Look at Cray. He wants to do it all by himself, leading the push, just jumping right in. There's some cap time from HRT, but the Uber has been popped from football team, so no one's going to be able to get onto that point. And now HRT is just being completely squashed.
Dire straits. Mr. Slin is caught in this backline. He is going to go down. It's only him remaining.
He's trying.
Wait,
he's trying to. Wait, no, no way he gets out. Oh my god. Oh my god. He's living. He's living. The chase is on. He's in IT. He's getting the pack. He's the greatest medic alive. How?
This is a circus. Like, what?
Okay.
How does that happen?
Mr. Slin, the most talented player in the game. Alexandros bombing the choke, and he does get Slin in the end. And he gets the escape plan onto Cray. So the high impact player is down, and that's going to put the momentum back in the favor of football team. Just what they needed in that situation.
I've seen everything. Crazy air shots, crazy pipes, medics acting as spies. What is happening in this whole game? And with that pick, seems like football team are just streaming forward. They do lose Marquise, but they are going to regain control of this middle point based on their Uber advantage. Space Ghost lobbing pipes across the choke point, locking out HRTeam from contesting this middle point.
Yeah, HRT is not going to be able to contest. Football team's going to cap it right up, and they're going to be thinking about their approach to second. Shining Star just trying to scout out the enemy team, see what's up, jumping through choke. Space with Coffee is in as well with Peppermint. The push is underway. Deceive is the first frag, so in favor of HRT, that might give them a little more leeway to try and defend. And yeah, football team's going to back right out as Nimby picks up Alexandros. So really completely stuffed push there from football team. Good on HRT on just shutting it down really quickly. Now, Mr. Slin walking through choke once again. The Ubers are going to be traded right here in this choke. Cray jumps forward on top of the crates, just trying to make all the space he can. It's working out really well. Deceive should die right here. Shining Star's up on top. Actually, the scouts for football team putting in a lot of work right now. Cray and Nimby are dead. Magma's going to go down as well. So the tides have turned as far as this push goes, and HRT is not going to cap mid, and football team's going to have that momentum right back with them as they push into second. Mopsy takes on Mark. He's going right in. Almost gets on Space Ghost Coffee as well, but eventually Shining Star's going to be able to save him.
Yeah, Mopsy must have had like an injection of testosterone or something. He had no fear in the face of 4 enemies. And now Cray is spamming pipes across, getting so much damage. Just destroying the players of football team, the rest of the players are going to back up from the second point. They were unable to cap it, so they won't have the forward mid spawns. And Magma is following up on the damage, taking down Shining Star. Football team, RGL!
Oh my god! No way!
Oh! Peppermint was just backing up from the choke point. It looked like he was going to get out there, and then the hero pipe straight from Jesus himself, Prey, sends it over and takes down Peppermint. So another Uber advantage for Slin.
Okay, that was ridiculous. Prey has been on fire this match. So now HRT is going to be capping too. Once again, they're prepping for this push through one that they've liked, and they're not popping early this time. I think that's going to do good things for them. The sentry is already down. So is Space Coast Coffee, so no demo on the side of football team. If they can just get the focus fire and collect these frags, Alexandros is dead. That's a good sign. Got to focus on this heavy of Marquise. He is down. This is looking good for HRT currently. They have to keep converting the frags, and there it goes. And now we are at 4-2 in favor of HRT. A really clean last push.
This game is so close, but I think the main deciding factor that is allowing HRT to come across in the second half is just the med difference. Mr. Slin staying alive while Peppermint, and it's not to his own fault, it's just that Craze and the rest of HRT team is making his life extremely difficult. So let's see what football team can do here. We see Nimby bombing really high up, craters straight away as he lands. Alexandros doing the same, pencil jumping up, and he's gonna get piped by Cray. Cray, even on the losing side of the mid, still manages to pop off, takes down one with him, but HRT seems like they're gonna lose this mid. Mr. Slin does make it out alive. Both teams will have the Uber, but football are actually really fast. They're on the second point already. It looks like they'll be easily able to capture it, and it's their first real chance of this half to try and get a round on the board.
Yeah, if there's ever a time to get themselves back into this game, it's now. Space Coast Copy pipes down Pelt as he tried to jump in, so not going to take anything from there. Deceive is down, so we have even numbers right now, 5 versus 5. Mr. Slin going into lobby, trying to peek onto the second point. There's a bomb from Nimby, I believe that is, but he's going to get shut down. Cray takes down Space Coast Copy with pipes that I don't even know where they came from, but no demo on the side of football team now. But HRT is not going to aggress at the moment. They're just peeking, just hanging out, just chilling out. Some pressure being applied onto that rollout area, and Dish Soap is going to die overextended just a little bit. So now the numbers back in favor of HRT, and they want to push out of the shutter. They're coming through. The Uber is popped for both sides. It's a little bit better for the side of football team, and Magma goes down as well, so the frags are in favor of them as well. Shining Star is running through rollout once again on Mr. Slin. Mr. Slin is so low. He's at 47 health, but he's not going to die. Shining Star gets cleaned up. Mr. Slin's going to resup, and he's going to be just fine, Trav.
Yeah, scrappy fight, and both teams coming out of it still alive. HR team able to mount the defense here, but football team are closer. Both teams won't have the Uber, and everything's just gonna reset. It seems like Nimby is on the spy. I wonder if he's just checking classes.
No, he's going out.
No, he's going out.
He's just standing on last, switching his weapons really quick.
Spy diff. Let's see what happens here.
He's a high-level spy. So he's cloak and daggering, I think.
And he's running
Nope,
out.
okay, he's running back. But ladies and gentlemen, that has been the Nimby spy play. I hope you all enjoyed it. I know I did. And so now we're going to be resetting to the situation where Nimby is back on Soldier. See if he tries to set up for a play or anything. Football team seems to be pretty content sitting where they are. Alexandros trying to actually bomb in and gets the force onto Mr. Slin. Really good from Alexandros. And now HRT is going to try to make the best of a bad situation because their Uber was just really, really bad. But football team's prepared for it. They have the passive positioning. Pelt's going to try and jump in and force Peppermint, but I don't think it's going to work. He's over there by Sewer right now getting the pack. But if I were a football team right now, I would just be pushing forward.
Yeah, he's just staying around in the sewer, like a sewer rat, still staying alive, getting the pack. He's gonna get pinched here. He still takes down Deceive though. They trade, so that actually delays the push, but I think it'll be a 5v5 Uber advantage push. for the side of football team. They're looking to cash in Cray here. Cray is sticking off. That's a huge pick. Really nice play by Space Ghost Coffee, just making sure Cray can't escape. So now they have free reign to just jump onto the point, get a lot of cap time. The frags are going in their favor. It's a close fight. Only the scouts remaining alive for HRT team, but they eventually go down by the spam. And there we go. We still have a game. Football team straight back to it. They are down 3-4, but they have the momentum.
Yeah, I was worried about that push for football team because I think that Pelt, who got behind, distracted them a lot and slowed them down. I thought maybe that would let HRT get a better defense on. Ooh, Alexandros eats a really nice pipe from Cray. And now teams just surging forward. HRT wants to get on the point. Alexandros is being forced out to this choke, and he is the first to die, finished off by Nimby. And now here comes Pelt with a nice direct onto Shining Star. Pelt launched up into the air. Oh, the air shot barely missed from Deceive onto Pelt, but Pelt is going to die either way. And football team does not want to back out. They want to keep fighting this. Magma is dead, so they have the frags. They're going to look to convert this further, but Space Ghost Coffee's death is not going to help them. The Uber actually had to be popped off, traded right here on the point by both teams. And Mopsy's going to try and clean up the combo right here in Sewer. He's going to back off, think better of it. Shining Star's going to die, and HRT is going to be content to just push the choke, but Mopsy going down is going to slow their roll just a little bit. And I think now maybe we might stabilize. No, Marquise wants to run forward even further. Alexandros jumps in, the aggression not stopping from football team. Deceive dies, but I don't know if that's going to stop him. Marquise is just jumping all across the point, and now HRT wants to re-aggress a little bit. Pelt destroys Alexandros, and I think that's finally going to force out football team as Space Ghost Coffee gets caught in the carnage.
Oh my god! Cray and Nimby. Was that Cray and Nimby or just the two soldiers of HRT? They just flew in, and Peppermint was at 150 and then he was at 0, just completely dead.
And HRT is already on the point. Nothing that football team can do. And there we go, 5-3 in favor of HR team. That was a really good match.
That was a really, really good match. And I think that's what you predicted too, 5-3 HRT.
I think I said 5-4 at half.
Oh, 5-4, yeah.
If you would have asked me before the game, though, I would have said 5-3. So I'm basically just going to say I was right all along.
We'll give it to you.
Thank you.
Well, that was a great game. We had a lot of highlights, some really epic moments, and some really questionable medic spy moments. I want to see a replay of that. How like what were all the football team players looking at? But HRT taking it out, 5-3 with the win. That second half, they just turned up their game. I was completely wrong. I thought it would be football team doing just that, but HRT getting 2 straight rounds before football team responded with 1, and then taking it off of that last pretty chaotic round there. We have logs, and what do the logs say? Well, it says that Cray is still crazy. Very crazy. Very good.
Yeah, 384 DPM, going 35 and 22. Top frags in the server actually goes to Marquise with 45, putting in a lot of work for football team. Has he been playing with them all season? Do you know?
I have no clue.
Okay, because I don't... Marquise? Yeah, okay, I thought he was new to this roster, but I think he's fitting in very well. And honestly, he like kind of set the pace for football team a lot in this match, just with a lot of aggression. He's a very aggressive player, and I think that paid off well for them and let them put such a good fight up against HRT. Although ultimately, I think the coordination and methodical play of HRT paid off for them. You know, we're able to keep calm under pressure and just play their game.
Yeah, definitely. Cray popping off. It seems like the rest of his team were pretty well rounded as well. And I think the big story is the death differential. Mr. Slynn and Peppermint were pretty close after the first half, but you could definitely tell in the second half with Peppermint having 7 extra deaths. It just wasn't a good time for him, and I don't think it was entirely his fault. Also, it was just HRTeam constantly putting pressure on him, and it was hard for him to stay alive for his team.
Yeah, it was when Cray's popping off like that. It's very hard to do anything against it. Trying to see anything else notable in these stats. I've just heard that this is Marquise's 4th match with football team, so that's a few matches to get your groove in, but still not a ton. Do you see anything else? Does anything else stick out to you, Trey?
This isn't very consequential, but Peppermint had like over over. I can't calculate percentages. He had 500 more damage than Mr. Slynn, which doesn't really matter, but just something I noticed.
He's Born Fragger. What is he doing on Medic? But another interesting stat to point out is the damage taken. Mr. Slynn took 5,700 damage, and Peppermint took 7,200. So a pretty big differential there as far as damage taken for these two medics. And, you know, as you were saying, Mr. Slynn's survivability is what let HRT win a lot of these engagements and like re-push fights and post Ubers is just Mr. Slynn's survivability and just like instinct to when he can get those heals out.
Yeah, we can see Cray taking most of the heals on his team. Not surprising considering how much damage he does, how much of a big factor he is for their team. So well-earned heals and a well-earned victory. HRT, what is they're 7-4 now, I think, after
That
this
sounds
match.
right.
With football team 7-5 and football team dropping to 5-7, I'm pretty sure. So, or 5-6. 5-7.
HRT is 7-4. That's what it says on RGL.
All right. All right.
All right. So, anything you'd like to say before we sign off, Trad?
I just want to say big shout outs to everybody that was watching the match. Especially big shout out to Looster, the Mr. 200 on production. And that's all I have to say.
I'd like to give a shout out to Marquise and my old team, the White Strawberry Doggos. Our legendary season of going 8-8 will never be forgotten by anyone, I'm sure. But that's all I have, and yeah, I think that's going to be it for us tonight. Thank you for watching Team Fortress TV. This has been Caleb and Trad Looster on production. Hope everyone has a good night.